Good morning. It is the Todd and Erin morning stream here on GiffArtDaily.com.
But you already knew that. It is a good day. It's Friday, first of all. Boom.
We got Tony Treebeard Abbott coming in, and he's got cool friends from New Zealand.
We're going to talk to them.
I don't know what it is about Utah, but you know how you just totally dig the accents? I mean, even Daisy, I sit there and go, say something else, because you're British.
What's really funny is...
I don't know what it is, but we all love them.
Husband and wife, and she's from Australia.
And they're unnaturally beautiful.
And he's from New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Which traditionally is a countries that kind of rub each other the wrong way.
A little bit like,
yeah. But they are together and happy.
Well, they met on neutral ground in London. So that's why.
DMZ.
No, seriously, it's like a romance story. You're going to love meeting them. They're so cute.
I cannot believe this first story. This one.
Lindsey Vonn. Oh, this poor woman.
Okay, now
Lindsey Vonn's ours. I'm going to claim her flat out. I'm just going to say she's ours. I mean, she's always training here in Utah. She lives here for a good half of the year.
What's going on? And
she's been through so much. I mean, think of the 2 massive crashes that she's had where it should have ended her career, and she fought her way back. And
plus, she's old. And, in quotation marks, she's old because as far as the other skaters go, she sleeps 12 hours a day to recover from her 6-hour workup 6 days a week.
She's so adorable. But she got on the plane. Opening ceremonies are today, and this is yesterday. She's like, okay, here we go. It's going to be great. I'm ready. I'm so ready. And then the plane was going nowhere. So I was following her Twitter feed, and this poor girl.
Are you kidding me?
She goes, well, hopefully we're going to get to Korea because they're all on the plane, and it's athletes from all over this country.
Yeah.
And she goes, apparently somebody doesn't have the right documents to fly. There's Germans and Italians on the plane, too. She goes, we've just been sitting at the gate now for 2 hours. 2 hours turned into 5.
Oh, no.
Then to 6. And then she said, well, now I guess we're off the plane. They're trying to find a new plane and take off in an hour. And they're going, how many hours door to door do you think it gets to take me to Seoul, Korea?
Right.
And it's really sad. So she just kind of went through, and they finally got them on a flight that could go. And literally at this point, she should be landing sometime around right now because it's that long of a flight.
Is she going to be there in time for the ceremony?
That's the point. Everyone's hoping. That it's like, please just get her there in time.
There is a heartbreaking story that I will never forget. And it's about being on a schedule at the Olympics, and kind of this reminded me of that. And there was a wrestler, and this guy, they were keeping their eye on this guy because he had some incredible skills,
huge potential.
Yeah, and it was like crazy. So he had his first match, and his coach came and got him, and he'd gone through his whole mental "I'm going to wrestle a guy" kind of mood thing. And when they got there, they showed up late at the wrong venue.
No,
2 hours late. And then he was eliminated from competition.
Because the cabbie got the wrong address or something.
Because the coach had the wrong time.
Oh my gosh! Tell me
no, it's not Uber's fault. No,
tell me you wouldn't just kill yourself. I mean, it would be like
you trained for 20 years.
Everything in you, everything.
Started off wrestling your sister, all the way through, and then somebody gave you the wrong time or something. But I thought you were going to tell me she got injured or something.
No. They just couldn't get her on. Although she does have a great sense of humor. I really like her because she's very beautiful. And some troll guy made a comment under one of these about, like,
she's gorgeous.
You think you're so great, something weird. She goes, gosh, that must be why I'm not married yet. She's really good. Just disarmed her totally. And everyone's like,
That's funny.
I'm proud of her. So anyway, fingers crossed. She's going to be amazing.
And the thing about, I want to clarify before you guys beat me up. 39 is really old for a downhill skier. I mean, it's incredible. It
makes her even more magnificent.
And she has worked so hard. I mean, the squats she does with weights, it's nuts. And so she has to work that much harder for her body to repair as well. So that's why she's so awesome. She's absolutely gorgeous.
Okay, moving on. Hamilton. Hamilton is opening here in Salt Lake City. And this is like the Broadway touring production where they have some of the original members of the cast. It's really cool.
Wait.
People are bugging.
Wait. I can barely hear your sister still screaming.
Yeah, Julie's keening like she's at a One Direction concert or something. Tickets go on sale at 10 this morning. Now, here's the thing. There's certain things that you can do, and there's certain things that do not work. Number one, if you're trying to get the tickets on Artix, go on right now. If you don't have an account, you actually have to first sign up for an account.
Yeah.
So you're going to try to click at 10. It's going to go sign up for an account. And then, of course, by then you're screwed. So go on, signed up for your account, and then right at 9 o'clock, it will let you enter into a queue where it's like a waiting room. We do this with Burning Man all the time. And it's kind of like a digital waiting room, and you just sit there. And if you get a number, they'll let you know and assign it. And then boom, at 10, it sends you back into the thing where you can buy it.
At Burning Man, there's 65,000 tickets for this one. I'm not
For
sure
like
how big
300,000 people, yeah.
but I'm not sure how big the venue
The
is.
show's running April 11th to May 6th. Now, the other option is you can go down to the Eccles Center and you can buy them in person. So
There's a line.
I don't
You
want
should have
even-
been camping out. You should have been camping
already
out.
can't. Yeah, it's probably a little
Wednesday.
late, to be honest, for that.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, just go make sure you've got your account all set up and ready to go, and make sure right at 9 you get into the queue so that you're not going to have that problem. So fingers crossed. I hope everybody does this. But remember, for scalp tickets, they're saying they've had a huge problem with fake tickets on this one. So even if you go through a scalping site, you usually recognize.
Wouldn't that be horrible?
And you end up paying $300 for a ticket. They're like, this isn't real.
Like you're being kind of flirty with your spouse. It's like, tonight we're going to go see Hamilton. Got the thing perfect. We had to go out and have a special meal. We're dressed up. You've got makeup on. Your hair is
Shave
done.
my
Then
legs
you
and
walk night in
everything.
two. And then you walk up there and you hand them your tickets and they go, no. Mood killer.
Well, you know, it's sad too because the box office people have told me there is nothing worse than that feeling too, because people come in, they're
Turning
all
people
excited
away.
and they're like, and they go, these aren't real, and they're like, and they say that, you know, they'll be angry or they'll cry and they'll have to sit there and go, I'm sorry. So
Don't
fingers
be that
crossed.
person.
Let us know.
right.
Let us know on Facebook today if you got tickets, just so we can share and be excited with you, because that's really cool.
Let's get some information with Daisy.
All right, we got to go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She's brought to you by Always Black Friday, where it is 32.75% off every day there in 12th Street in Ogden. Also by the Denali Performance Medical Center. Look, if you've been suffering from long-term joint injuries or migraines, they can make this go away for good and without opioids. And with All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. If you need to check and make sure that your furnace is working in top conditions so you can save a boatload of energy dollars, this would be a good time to get in contact. allutahplumbing.com. All right, Daisy, my darling, what is going on today?
Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news on Friday, February 9th on Gephardt Daily. A man is in critical condition after he was hit by a car in Salt Lake City Wednesday night. The auto-pedestrian accident occurred around 7:45 p.m. when two intoxicated males were crossing the street southbound on 1300 South near 135 West, police said. Officials said the men were not in a crosswalk, and one of the men was struck by an eastbound silver SUV. Police said the men were both wearing dark clothing and trying to cross in a dark area, and the driver didn't see them. The pedestrian was taken to Intermountain Medical Center in critical condition, although he is expected to survive. The injured man has not been identified. The driver is unlikely to be cited. A 9-year-old child was flown to Primary Children's Hospital in serious condition after a crash on Mountain View Corridor Wednesday night. The crash at 14115 South Mountain View Corridor involved a Honda Civic and a Ford Expedition, according to Unified Police. No other injuries were reported. The child's injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. And Salt Lake City's Nathan Chen took the ice last night during the first night of the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang. He skated the short program for Team USA in the figure skating team event. NBC also showed the pair's short program last night. In addition to figure skating, Chen trained in ballet with Ballet West Academy and competed in gymnastics at the state and regional levels for 7 years. He attended West High School in Salt Lake City. The opening ceremonies for the Olympics begin at 6 p.m. this evening on NBC. And time now for your Wasatch Front forecast, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's ultra-fantastic audio-visual specialists. We're set for a really nice weekend. Today will be a sunny high 50 degrees, and then Saturday and Sunday sit comfortably in the high 40s and low 50s. Skies will be mostly clear. Sure, we do need snow, but you might as well enjoy the beautiful weather while it's here. That's it for now. For more news and weather 24/7, go to GepHardtDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thanks, Daisy. Got to tell you about All Utah Plumbing, All Utah Plumbing, Heating and Air, allutahplumbing.com. They got a furnace AC deal right now. If you buy the package, which is smart because they work together, you get $2,000 off if you buy the package. Also, they're going to give you a free air scrubber, and how important is that in Utah? And then it turns out to be about $3,200 of savings, which actually pays for the furnace. If you want more information, just go to allutahplumbing.com. All right, I have to do this, Erin, and I don't do this to be mean to you. But,
Why are you so obsessed with my eyelash? Don't you think that's kind of creepy?
well, no, because you've got this deal with this eyelash, and it keeps growing. And the other day, I thought it fell off, but, okay, no. You're going to have to, let me grab your face. Okay. Blink your eye. Down. Hold it shut. Can you see? I don't want to poke you in the face. Can you see that eyelash?
What is wrong with
Don't
you?
move. Don't move.
Really? Still?
Let me see. Shut your eye.
Okay, you're going to have to stop.
It's unnatural.
You're going to have to let this
It's
go.
natural.
You are going to have to let this go at some point.
I can't. Every time I look over and you're talking or telling a story, and I'm just like, nah.
You know, I don't say anything about your nose hairs.
That is just weird.
All right, we better move on. Tell me something good. It's brought to you by Always Black Friday.
I'm going to put this back up.
30 to 75% off every day. By the way, if you want to go online to alwaysblackfriday.com, you can see some of their killer deals before you drive up 12th Street in Ogden. I absolutely love this one because teachers are like my favorite human beings on the planet, especially now that my children's lives and their self-esteem and their wisdom are in their hands. And I don't think you could ever be paid enough to tackle my children, so I love you for that. But especially when you're in a place where you're so fragile as a little person, and the importance of fitting in and who you are, and it's so everything.
No, it's really cool.
And well, Leah Bishop is a teacher at Lakeview Elementary in Texas, and the kids love her. She's a first grade teacher, and one day a little one came in and she said, "Your hair looks so pretty today, sweetie." And the little girl said, "No." She said, "Nobody likes it," and everyone laughs at
What do
me.
you mean no one likes it?
Well, apparently this little girl has a style that I guess is different than the rest of the kids in school, and I'm sure her mom works really hard on it, but she said the other kids have teased me.
About her hair.
Yeah, and you know that age is like, oh, it just makes your heart bleed. So the next day, of course, Leah Bishop showed up with the identical same hairstyle
as her kid.
And you have to see this picture because I just want to cry because it's so sweet. And she said, and look how beautiful she is. And she says, when your student is just so cute, you just have to copy her. And she said that this little girl just floated on cloud nine all day, like, I am the coolest thing ever.
That is so
But look
cool.
at the pure love in her face. The change that she made in this little girl.
That is very cool. I got to tell you that
Teachers, we love you so much more than you know.
we really do.
And I'm really sorry for everything that Zoe did today, because I'm sure there was something.
And speaking of that, when I drop Zoe off at school or I pick her up, there's hair shaming from Dad. Now, when our woman, our lady, our nanny, our great person, gets her up in the morning and she does like double braids that interact with each other.
She's better than I am.
And she does this stuff, and then there's over here there's something, and I get in there and it's like basically take a vacuum hose and this works, by the way. Put hair ties and you slide them on the tube, right? Then you turn it on and then you suck the hair up into the tube, and when you got it there, you just take those bands and you pop them off onto the hair, and you're done. Plus, the hair is cleaner because you vacuumed it. And that's about it. That's my big move. That's what that noise is in the morning, by the way.
Oh, my God.
So, and then you get there, and all the other moms are walking around. They're like, oh, and someone's got a peacock in their hair. And you're like, and Dad's like, I got one move. And it's not that I don't care. It's just too freaking early. And braiding at that hour is like doing math. It really is 1, 2,
No,
3.
I'm with you.
So for all the other dads out there, and I'm saying, why don't you just wear a hat like I do? You know, when you just don't feel like anything doing it, it's like, have a hat. But she won't listen. And I think there's a rule against it too. The winner, Christopher's winner. Chicken dinner.
All right, first of all, thank you so much.
It's not chicken, it's steak.
It's our big fat thank you, and all we ask is that, would you share us with friends? Why should you be tormented alone? Please share us with friends. Drop a comment on the show today.
It helps.
And it automatically enters you for a glorious dinner for 4 at Christopher's Prime Steakhouse. This is one of our favorite things to do if you're on the Gephardt Daily Facebook page, or Gephardt Approved, or if you're joining the conversation with us here on the Todd and Erin page. Thank you. Just drop a comment and you're entered. Do share us, though, please. Jamie Horrocks is our winner today. Jamie, congratulations. I will be contacting you so that we can get your epic dinner all set up.
All right, very
They've
good.
got some serious Valentine action going on, by the way.
They always, anytime is romance down there.
When it's steak,
Tony
really.
Abbott is coming up next. Mr. Adventure guy. He's got some great information. And also, for new adventure, also New Zealand comes into play.
So cool.
We'll see it next.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by UtahCreditApproval.com. Bad things happen to good people, but you can get your credit back on track and get a reliable automobile by giving them a call. 801-404-7201. And also by Columbus Travel with spectacular deals on cruises and all-inclusive vacations. Go to ColumbusVacations.com. And All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, where they have a winter special that they can check out your furnace and make sure that it's operating efficiently, saving you hundreds of dollars in energy bills. Just go to AllUtahPlumbing.com. Did you know that you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning Stream on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, and GephartDaily.com any time of the day or night?
At Always Black Friday, we love a good deal. We buy new and used products at a discount so we can pass on the savings to you. And we're Gephardt approved. From electronics to clothing to appliances. If you want it, we have it at discount prices. Visit our eBay store or come to our warehouse at 865 West 12th Street in Ogden. Always Black Friday, where you can find Black Friday deals all year round.
Happy Black Friday!
Oh my goodness! He just attacked that! Oh dude! That is freaking awesome!
There's about a 5.5, 6 foot octopus. Come back well, 10 yards.
They're my friends.
Right, and they're chasing you. Tony's here. Tony Abbott. How are you? It's the Todd and Erin Morning Stream, GephartDaily.com. I cannot get over
jealous.
killer whales chasing your boat.
Don't be jealous. You're Todd and Erin.
Yeah, but
You're
you
Todd and Erin.
You have an octopus.
Yeah, it's true.
You have killer whales that have chased your boat. That's
Yes,
kind
I
of
have.
epic.
When I
You
take
have to admit
picture of
that.
porridge I made, you take pictures of octopus.
Porridge.
Says
How's it taste?
octopus. Not as good as the octopus would, but all
Octopus
right.
flavored porridge, maybe.
So
no.
the big show's coming up
Yes, we're a month away.
from.
Yeah, we're a month away. A month from tomorrow. So March 9th and 10th. UVU.
That's right.
Big
UVM.
Outdoor Expo.
Big
And this is
Outdoor
going to be
Expo.
craziness this year. Now, did you open up more space? Because I know they were having some problems fitting people in last year.
We have. We've opened a little bit of space. And you know what's awesome is you just had some great guests in here that have been a big part of my show, and we're making them a bigger part.
Gales and tails?
Yes, can you
Oh,
believe
That's
that?
fun.
So my request to Rindy last year when she left and Shane was, I need everything.
Oh, the
Everything.
snakes.
Empty your
everything.
place.
I'm like, bring it all.
You know, they've got like a cousin of the Komodo dragon, right? Like
Yes.
a monitor
Spiders.
lizard. You want
Yeah.
to really clarify.
Well, we've talked about how this is all around. I mean, people know I'm a hunter and I'm a fisherman.
Right.
But I'm an outdoors guy. And this is very family friendly. And you guys know, you've been great to Scales and Tails. This is everything. If
Yeah,
you want to
they're fun.
hold snakes and
They're the
gators,
best.
and
I know, right?
You know
they're
what?
going to be there.
One of the things I've started to realize, and we're going to show you why coming up, is the fact that for you this is like a reunion because you have all these vendors and stuff and guides that you have known forever, and
Yes.
it's like getting together with them again.
Well, I've got some friends in town. They're staying with me now. You got to meet them. I think we're going to
Oh,
bring
you know,
them on.
They're
we should,
amazing.
let's do that right now, as a matter of fact.
you
Middle
want
Earth is visiting us.
I want you to pretend like you don't know them so you can ask them
Oh.
questions and interview them. All
Done.
right, let me get them.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
No, this is
Wait,
like,
you have to leave too?
I'm
Go on
afraid
in.
so. There's only room. You're pretty big. We can't only fit that many people.
All of
on.
them, as far as
Unfortunately,
that's it.
she is delightfully petite.
There you go. You
We'll
sit
put
right
Kate in the
here.
middle.
Okay.
And you're going to
Thanks,
sit
you
right
guys.
here. Thank you very much. All right. Now I might float around with the camera. All right. All right.
Good to see you
All
guys.
right,
How
so,
are you?
so
Good to
okay,
be here.
remember, I might be floating around with the camera. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome yourself to Tony's show.
Tony's show on the Todd and Erin show. Hey, awesome, man. A good Friday morning. Of course, this is my good friend Simon and Kate Guild. They're from New Zealand. They live actually down about an hour out of Christchurch. Kate's actually from Australia originally.
G'day, mate.
And we got a Kiwi. So we got a Kiwi and an Aussie. How does that work? Because that's not normal, is it? Isn't there a friendly rivalry
Like
there?
oil and water,
course.
Tony. Like oil and water.
Around here, it's like the BYU Cougars and the Utah Utes. And somehow they got married. So anyway, good to have you guys, man.
Thanks for having us.
great.
Is
to
my
be here.
hospitality okay?
It's wonderful.
Are you
lovely.
sure?
Oh, wonderful.
No,
It's a
we,
good thing my wife's cooking.
we're big fans of the state of Utah. Yeah, and Shannon's cooking. Yeah, we've been skiing and just enjoying.
You
the
did. You come in
beautiful
last weekend.
scenery and yeah.
Yep.
It's,
We got a
it's
big
wonderful.
show we're going to talk about. If people want to meet you guys here this weekend, we're up at the Hunt Expo in Salt Lake City at the Salt Palace, as far as that goes. But we've been friends for years.
We have.
I started coming to New Zealand, can you believe, 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
2007, me and little Jake.
Yep.
Not so little
Not
anymore,
so
is
little.
he?
Kind of big now.
Kind of big now. We came down. The first place I stepped foot, I got off the airplane in Christchurch. I got picked up and I got taken to the High Peak Game Estate. That was my first experience in New Zealand. Give us just briefly what the High Peak Game Estate is.
Well, High Peak Game Estate, first of all, it's part of High Peak Station, which is our family farm, or ranch, as you guys would say. It's a station which is a bigger farm, bigger ranch. So it's about 10,000 acres all up, and about half of it's dedicated to hunting. So what we've got is a large area of the property that we basically have a range of species on, as you well know. And
I've done a few of those.
Yeah, you've had
I've petted a few of those.
Yeah. and all our species in New Zealand are introduced. So basically,
there's nothing indigenous.
Yeah, nothing indigenous, and everything's managed. So hunters can come down with a clear mindset, and they can really just enjoy the landscape and the hospitality and the scenery and everything that we offer. So
yeah, well, you guys, and I've been to New Zealand. Like I said, this will be my 12th year, and I've been all over the place, and I've been at several places. I see the guilds every year, and this is why, because it is top notch. I mean, not only is it a beautiful estate, beautiful property, the family's lovely as well, and I get to see Kate. You know, that's. I mean, Si's all right, but I get to see Kate, right, Kate?
Yeah. And we can't wait soon for you to bring Shannon and the rest of the family as well.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That's what it's all about. It's all about coming for the hunting, but you know, it's really a place that we want to push. That it's for everybody. There's so much to do for the wives, the children, everybody. So
well, I'm a hunter.
amazing. We
don't hide from that. Everyone knows that. I hunt animals. I do. If they breathe, I've probably let the air out of them before. I fish. I do all sorts
Way
of
to go,
stuff.
Tony.
But it's not a vile thing. I use the animals. We give the animals away. We feed people. We were in here fishing. We had fish in here last week. I was in here last week. We had salmon and halibut sitting right here on this desk. You guys offer an experience for the hunter, the fisherman that's second to none. Meaning, it's fly fishing. You got a lake right there on the property that you're actually extending now, aren't you?
And a river, yes.
And a river, you do. A river runs through it.
A river runs through it.
And Si, this isn't just about men hunting, is it? Because we have women hunters, but also there's a lot of things that Kate can come and say, oh, we don't want to stay on the ranch today. There's some things to do with the women, isn't there?
Absolutely. I mean, you've got the Rakaya Gorge, which is just in our backyard, really. So you can go jet boating, beautiful bushwalks, river walks. You can jump in a helicopter and go to the top of a mountain with a spectacular view and have a picnic. There's always the towns in Christchurch nearby, so we can always hit the shops.
Ah!
We're 100% New Zealand made, merino and things like that. So
Hey, Tony.
there's something for everyone.
Women hunt too.
I know they do.
Keeping you on board
I
here, bud. Get you
No,
in trouble.
but the point is there is something there for everyone.
Absolutely.
You guys have a nice cottage, right, or a nice house right there on the golf course.
Yep.
You're actually building a bigger lodge up on the property.
That's right.
And we have the backwoods experience in the hut.
That's true. So the thing with the hunting is, as you said, it's not a case of just come out and shoot something because you enjoy that. It's you are hunting for a purpose, and we are utilising that animal. Yes, you're taking a trophy home with you, but very importantly, because we're a family orientated operation, we have kids coming out and having their first experience. Often it's not their first experience because they're from a hunting family, but we've had kids come out and have their first experience with nature. They go out there, they get the grass between their toes, they walk the hills, they harvest an animal, they clean the animal, and we eat it. So they understand where protein and meat comes from. It doesn't come from a factory.
If you haven't had a fallow doe from High Peak, you haven't eaten meat. Because I'll tell you what, that is as tender and as good as it gets, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Doesn't get better.
Anyone that's out there thinking right now, hey, New Zealand might be on our list. We are going to be at the Hunt Expo the rest of the week.
That's right.
Clear through Sunday. You guys are in town. You got to fly out later Sunday. But if someone wants to come meet you guys, if they want to hear the accent in person, if they want to see the brochures that you have, all the photos, if they want to see all the big game animals, because we have like 7 big stags out there, don't we? We got about 3 char. We got a ram. If they want to see these things, come to the Hunt Expo. It's at the Salt Palace downtown. We're in the Mossback booth. I'll tell you what, Simon and Kate have made the trip here business. And you've made it all the way up here, haven't you?
We have.
You
And
think
it's
you'll
been
be
great.
back?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Without a doubt, 100%.
You guys, I hunt and I fish. It's what I do, and I love it. Also, I'll be representing them at the Big Outdoors Expo that's going to happen March 9th and 10th down in Provo, down in Orem. I took you by the facility. You've seen that. That's thebigoutdoors.com. If you want to check that out, I've got booth space available is still there. As you saw in an earlier segment, Rindy and Shane were here with Scales and Tails Utah, and they'll be there, and so will a lot of other stuff. My brother, it's good to see
Dave.
you, my
You too.
man. Always lovely.
Always a
Hey,
pleasure.
by the way, how was your experience holding that big old snake?
Oh, I can't even go there. I thought I was going to need an ambulance escort out of there. But, I'm really proud of myself for doing it, because being from Australia, most snakes you avoid like the plague.
But here,
it was great. It was
Yeah,
a
it
great
was
experience
joy.
of being
I'm just a
converted.
dumb Kiwi. I just loved it.
and you did like, hey, check us out this weekend. Come check out the Kiwis and the Aussies. At the Hunt Expo, we'll be at the Mossback booth. And Si's put a little special package together with Kate. 10% off any Red Stag package you pick this weekend and book it, and a free Apollo Ram. So stick with us, and we'll see you guys next week. Remember, the Big Outdoors on the 9th and 10th of March.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you soon.
Oh, my goodness! He just attacked that! Oh, dude! That is freaking awesome!
There's about a 5.5, 6 foot octopus. Come back well, 10 yards.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Todd and Erin Morning Stream, GetParkDaily.com. When you think of Scotland, I don't think about high crime rate. I think about hooligan soccer fans.
Scottish soccer hooligans.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of those.
But this is something that you don't hear about. There was a 45-minute standoff in Scotland.
Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah, so evidently a guy who owned dairy cows went in, as it does at night, to make sure everybody's in bed and make sure all the cows and stuff are comfortable. And he saw something and he freaked out. He ran back to his house as soon as possible. Now, this is a new place that a farm that he's just kind of moved into and had some friends over. It's like a housewarming party, right? And so he calls the local guys and he says,
So what's wrong with the cows?
Police, you gotta come. And they go, what's going on? And they said, it's a tiger is in my barn with my cows.
Oh, man.
Look, they took a picture of it. They sent it off to an expert, and he said, yeah, it's a tiger. They called around anywhere this thing could have
like
escaped
a circus
from.
or something, or
Yeah.
maybe like a drug dealer.
Yeah, something
a drug
crazy.
lord guy
And so
had a tiger
they had
that is.
snipers in to protect the public and stuff, and they started doing. And the first clue.
Would the tiger refuse to negotiate?
No,
because I know usually they try to get them to pick up on the phone and talk.
don't
and
know.
He didn't have opposable thumbs, so he probably couldn't pick up the phone.
What were your demands? A sheep. A leg of lamb would be good. No. So they were freaking out. Now, the guy said it was real and everything. And then, all of a sudden, a couple of the guests that were at his house for this housewarming party came staggering out.
Because it's Scotland, and that's what we do when we celebrate.
The cops were looking at the tiger. And then they were looking at the crowd coming out of the house. And then they were looking back at the tiger. And the sergeant stood up and walked unarmed directly over to the tiger.
Wow.
And kicked it. Go back to the picture of the tiger, please. The tiger picture is a fake animal, stuffed animal.
You know, now you can see it, but with the dirty paws and stuff,
Right,
it looks
right.
like it could have been a real. Oh, that's hysterical.
Well, the police didn't get freaked out or anything. They were pretty nice about it. And he goes, yeah, it was a fake call and took
2
a lot
hours
of
standoff on a stuffed
took a
tiger.
lot of energy and stuff, but it wasn't meant in harm. The guy actually did think, and they did too for 45 minutes, thought, even with rifle scopes,
That's
thought it was a real
hysterical.
tiger, but he's like really still. Just move
After
along.
I realized he wasn't even twitching, and that was probably a dead
I
giveaway.
think that's kind of funny.
That's so.
You know, we've been seeing a lot of people in courtrooms with the gymnastic coach,
jeez.
and the women got like 200 women got to stand up and say their words, which was
It took
huge.
Enormous courage for these girls.
And I didn't know this is
Enormous
something
courage.
on a lot of sentencing. This actually does happen. And I
Victim
wasn't,
impact statements,
I wasn't aware of that so much, but now it's been so publicized. But we even had something local.
Well, victim impact statements are really crucial, though, and defense attorneys have complained about them for years, saying, well, you know what, it's like, no, this is the chance for these victims to have their day in court,
Right.
where they actually finally get to stand up and say how this made them feel, because
Right.
a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, I'm going to go to court and I'm going to tell my story, but no, what you tell are the few sentences that either your attorney or their attorney will let out of your mouth before they go, that's all, and dismiss
You
you.
can say it.
And, you know,
Right.
and so this is your chance to write it down and think about what you want to say and go, this is what you did This is how you impacted my life. And that's why the victim impact statements are so important, and what they've also
For
found.
for everyone,
Yeah,
too. Huh?
so it not only is it crucial to sentencing, but it's also crucial for these victims to be able to finally make a step on. Because a lot of times before you would leave court feeling frustrated and maybe even more ashamed or even more victimized.
Laid out for everyone to...
Yeah, without ever
yeah.
telling the full story. So this just happened with Desiree Turner.
Why
This
is that
little
name-
girl is just...
There she is.
Look at her little face.
Yeah.
This is the amazing little girl in Cache County who had a crush on a boy, and he had met her one night with a friend of his, and they had decided to kill her because he thought she was annoying,
Right.
because she had a crush on him. So this amazing little girl survived a gunshot wound to the head.
Right.
A lot of times
They left her for dead.
a lot of times she has to use a wheelchair, but she stood up and she said, "I don't know how someone can display a shell as a trophy. That means that you tried to kill me." She says, "I don't know what kind of person you are that you would think that wanting to kill someone would be fun." She said, "But I want to tell you, you didn't ruin my life." She said, "I am tougher than a bullet, and I'm strong, and with my family by my side, I can do things much tougher than you." And she said, "You've complained that your life is over and your life is ruined. That's exactly what you just tried to do to me,
Right.
and I'm not going to let you." Now, for a 15-year-old girl, she was 14 when this happened, but for a 15-year-old girl to be able to have the courage to stand up and say to these two boys,
Yeah.
and to be that strong and forceful, because I would have broken down and just sobbed the whole time.
I'm sure that gaining that courage took
A long,
this whole
long
year
time.
of going through. The first...
But this little girl saying, "I'm tougher than
Yeah.
a bullet."
Now, the guy who pulled the trigger got 15 to life. And the secondary guy, they said he was as guilty and as responsible for the shooting.
Very much so,
So
yeah.
they're both going to be spending a lot of time.
And
away.
it's hard for me to feel bad for you. I'm sorry, guys,
I
but I
know.
have such admiration for this little girl, and you are tougher than a bullet.
Yes. We had the weirdest opportunity when we were talking with Tony, brought some friends from New Zealand. And
I know,
suddenly,
they're so cool.
And suddenly I realized I don't know crap about New Zealand.
I do. I love
I
New
know,
Zealand.
but it's like, the United States, you can point out, there's Seattle, the Florida Keys, the rugged coast of Maine, Baja, Red Rocks in Zion.
And New Zealand, you go, "Where's the Hobbit town?"
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
just go, that's all that I kind of knew about, but they're experts at it because they live there, so we're going to hear about New Zealand
It's
from
so
them.
cool. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you'll find out that you can get a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600. Fink and McGregor, also by the Vein Clinic. If you go to theveinclinic.com, you can schedule an appointment and find out some amazing options for pain-free removal of varicose veins and spider veins. Your legs can look great again with the Vein Clinic. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They're experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. And they also have a brand new store up in Ogden now. If you'd like to reach them, you can go to blackdiamondexperts.com.
So Jeff, you do mortgages, right?
I do.
How do you do?
Well, you go to our website, 4minutemortgage.com, fill out the application. We'll call you within one business day. The whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
We went to the bank
They got really personal.
and went through all of our personal records and all of our finances.
And then there was that little deal about the $8,000 closing costs.
Took like 4 months.
That's funny. That's funny.
We're back. It's the Todd and Erin Morning Stream here on GetPartDaily.com. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is like a Utah thing, and I apologize right away. This is Simon and Kate Gill. They're from the High Peak Station in New Zealand. We all have this thing about accents. So everywhere you go, it's going to be like, could you say something else? You sound really cool. But we're so glad you're here. Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Is this your first time in Utah?
It is for me.
My second time, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So now you, of course, know the infamous Tony Treebeard Abbott, who
We
has
do.
been to New Zealand many times.
Yes.
And so how did he lure you down for the wildlife, the Outdoor Expo?
So basically, what Tony has done is he's been come down to New Zealand for a long time, and he's got this great new opportunity with Doyle Mossback to extend the Mossback brand to New Zealand, and he's been coming to our place for 12 years, so it's a natural fit. So he said, "Come on up and let's do High Peak New Zealand." Mossback New Zealand with High Peak. At the expo, so here we are.
Nice. Now, was High Peak on the North or South Island?
The South Island.
Middle of South Island.
About an hour inland from Christchurch.
Now, you know that everybody totally fangirls over New Zealand, and I know you've heard Lord of the Rings so many times, you're like, thank you, don't see it again. But, I mean, you do have the most visually stunning, I think, topography in the entire planet, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, and what's your favorite spot? I mean, when you guys go somewhere, where do you go, like, this is really cool? Because I know you've probably been everywhere now in New Zealand.
It's a difficult one. You
yeah,
answer
well,
that one.
I would say, and this probably sounds a bit biased, but just in our backyard, even there's the Rakaya Gorge, which is a 10-minute drive from our place, where it's just this incredible scenery, deep gorge. The water is ice blue. You can swim there if you're game enough, and jet boating. Find a little spot on the beach, have a picnic, and it's stunning. Absolutely stunning.
I'm
And
so jealous.
obviously the mountain, you've got Mount Hutt, which is a ski field as well, and that just heads straight up.
Now, what's the skiing like down there? Because, like, you guys do heli skiing too, right?
We do, yeah. So the skiing we do down there is fairly, we don't have the infrastructure you have here in Utah. So most of our ski fields you drive up to. Our snow line's a lot higher. But you can get some fantastic terrain, and certainly if you've got the means to go heli skiing, that's when it really comes into its own. You're skiing on glaciers and great big peaks, and sort of 3,000-4,000 foot vertical foot runs. So it's pretty special. But it's it's kind of like it's probably like skiing was here 50 years ago in terms of infrastructure, which makes it cool.
A lot of Australians head over to New Zealand, especially to go heli skiing, because there isn't that terrain in Australia.
No, not at all.
And you've got that easy, quick overseas trip.
That's so cool. And, we interviewed Sean Bean. He was he Boromir? No, he wasn't Boromir in The Lord of the Rings, but he was in the first one, and he talked about, I guess he's an expert skier, and he was so excited to go there. And then he found out he'd have to helicopter up to a lot of the best places, and he's terrified of helicopters. Oh, no. And he stubbornly, I guess he hiked for like half a day just so he could like ski down one, and he goes, okay, I'm done. I just had to know I could do it. But
ski touring's a big thing. Yeah,
it was the helicopters, like, I don't think I can take that part of it. So, I mean, when we think about America, we think about 5 or 6 things that people usually come away with. When people go to New Zealand, aside from the fact that you're freaking beautiful, what do people come back with, like the 3 or 4 things they always talk about?
I guess the thing with New Zealand, it's kind of like, geographically it's the size of Colorado. So it's a small country with a big coastline, and it's got an awful lot of different landscapes packed into that small area. So you asked earlier about our favourite part. I mean, personally, I'm a sort of a mountains and lakes kind of person, but there's great beaches, there's fantastic
the surfing rocks there.
Yeah, the surfing's great.
All the cool competitions.
Simon always refers to it as the land of contrast, because you could drive for half an hour and it completely the scenery completely changes.
That is so cool.
So in terms of what people would say, I guess they'd say it's pretty clean. The air's clean. The scenery's nice. There's lots of sheep. They often talk about the sheep.
Your sheep are very famous.
Oh, they're very famous sheep. There's I think friendliness is kind of a really key thing. Safety. We often hear is that it's a pretty safe country. It's a friendly country. We know we're way down on the bottom of the globe. So anyone who makes the effort to get there generally gets well received.
You're like, you survived the trip. That's
hey, Erin, where are we going to go?
New Zealand.
Yes.
No, this isn't a joke.
When are you going to go?
No, Todd and I actually looked at immigrating to New Zealand. We went through all of this stuff because we were like, seriously, we should.
Oh, wait, they won't let us, will they?
What have you done?
Todd is too old.
Dirty, rotten
I
people.
would have been fine.
His personality will make up.
Oh, really?
I really can't help but think that would be true. And you guys are getting a whole bunch of influx of new people now because you guys are so much more prevalent. How does that work with all these new cultures coming in to the islands?
You're an immigrant. So.
Yeah, I fit in. I fit in just perfectly. I think everyone. We live in a multicultural society now, and New Zealand is multicultural. And as Simon was saying, everyone's so friendly. So, life is what it is, isn't it? So you just welcome people in, and hopefully they don't kick me out.
You know what was funny is everyone always talks about the quirky sense of humor of New Zealand. Like if you see your films and stuff, they always have like this really cool, like slightly offbeat sense of humor, like Flight of the Conchords, and of course Watiti, who just directed Thor Ragnarok. He changed the whole landscape, and your media has really done that. Your film industry, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think part of our national psyche is we try not to take ourselves too seriously. And I think that is comes through in the filmmaking. There's kind of they can't resist having a joke, even though it might be serious material. It still has to be a bit.
And that's
funny.
probably why our marriage worked with Australia and New Zealand. But
Oh yeah,
the good
how does that
banter.
work out?
Right, I know. It's very funny. You're right about the sense of humor, though. On New Year's Day, they actually showed this video. I guess you had to. They wouldn't allow drinking like on site in the harbor areas. So a bunch of the Kiwis went out and they actually dredged up enough sand to make a tiny island big enough just out of the harbor so that they could have a table that they all sat there and drank. Happy New Year! What are you gonna do about it? So I mean, when people come, what are like, and they're asking you. Obviously, they're coming to go to High Peak Station and have an amazing trip with you. What are like the couple of other things that you go? You gotta go do this thing too. This is the best. What do you recommend always?
Well, a lot of people come out. They come to us for a week or so, or 5 days, and that's for the hunting part.
But once you're on the plane, stay.
But generally you're coming a long way to get to New Zealand, so we suggest you stay, at least another week. And for us in the middle of the South Island, we'd say just rent a car or go on a tour, and that just sort of takes you through some of the key sites. And we know a lot of people in the island that have something quite unique that's off the main tourist route that we can recommend that you go and see, put you in touch.
That's so fun.
And then the idea is just to go and explore, follow your nose a little bit, because it's easy.
And especially there's, as you pointed out, there's been so many films that have been filmed in New Zealand.
Exactly. Yeah.
So not far from us, there's Snnnnaaaakes, the big rocks of where Aslan, they have the big fight. That's an hour's drive from us, and you can just walk around all the rocks, and it's incredible. We sort of drive past, and it's incredible just to look from the road. You can
You know what I would do? I would dress up with a big pointed hat and a big white beard and a staff, and I would just walk in the distance everywhere I went around
And
people.
shout, "You shall not pass."
Right.
And summon the power of the...
They would love that.
People would be like, "Look, it's him!"
No, that's funny. I think Peter Jackson, the director, I actually think he lives in one of the houses that he built for part of the sets for the Lord of the Rings. I think that's so funny.
But it really is the natural beauty and just being in that open space that I think a lot of people come for.
And not too many people.
Yeah.
Which is a good part of it, I think.
There should be more. Okay, now I have to ask this just on a personal note. You're unnaturally beautiful. How did you lure her from Australia over to New Zealand? Because it's like there's a fair amount of work keeping up what you guys do there.
Yeah. Well, I think the key there is you've got to go to neutral ground. So we actually met in the city of London. So we're both living there for a short while.
Romantic.
So I went all the way there.
Which is where say like the Kiwi accent probably a bit more appealing than it would be in New Zealand. So I think every man has to punch above his weight, so I just want to hold that end up, see?
That, you just got bonus points for that from every woman in this audience. You know that, right?
And I think I got pretty lucky. He's pretty handsome.
That's so cool. So how long have you guys been together?
We've been together coming up
About 8 years.
8 years and been married for 5. And we have 2 little ones at home.
That's so cool. And this is a family business, so you guys kind of took it over. You've been running it with your dad for years, but now that everything kind of fell to you two, you're like, oh crap, that's a lot.
Yeah, well, it's been a great, the last sort of 7 years or so, we've been building up the High Peak brand, and we're a fully integrated family operation, I guess. So we make honey. That's my brother-in-law.
That's so cool.
And my sister. My brother and his wife, they run the farming operation. Kate and I run the tourism side of things, and my parents oversee and keep us all in line. So,
and Simon's mum and sister
great,
are also artists.
Oh, man.
So they're incredible, and his sister's also an actress. So
you pretty much covered everything.
It's everything. So people sometimes say, because we're quite remote, do you get lonely or is it boring or anything? It's like, no there's always something happening.
If you had like a vineyard now and you started doing wine, you would be like everything. You would be like the circle of life. You know that, right?
We'll get your dad onto that.
We'll get Dad onto that.
You had a good wine. You can never argue with that.
That's
okay.
exactly.
Just out of curiosity, what is like the weirdest animal that you hunt? I mean, because there's got to be one that people are like, I have no idea what that thing is.
The weirdest animal that we hunt, I would say, it's in terms of the bigger animals, it's probably something like the Himalayan tahr, which is just this crazy, shaggy mountain goat that lives in the most inhospitable terrain.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I mean, they're equal parts weird, I think, and incredibly impressive. And they just have this amazing ability, just like your mountain goats, to bounce from rock to rock on these little hooves.
On such high cliffs and not tumble off.
And they're pretty unique.
So it's pretty much a fair fight then, because you're climbing up there trying. Yeah, that's.
If you can get up there, you've earned.
When are we going?
Yeah.
I know. Soon. Well, let's do that. Where? How can they reach you guys if they were interested in coming over and knowing more about what you guys do, and if they wanted to book a trip?
Well, the first thing would be to get in touch with Tony. He's got, you've got Tony's details.
Yes,
so,
we do.
That would be the first port of call. You can check us out on www.highpeak.co.nz, and that'll give you an idea of what we do and how we operate. And then, once you've called Mr. Abbott there, he'll get
and
wheels in motion.
On our website are our phone numbers, so you can always just jump on and give us a call.
Tony, we're going to New Zealand.
Surprise!
All right.
What's the best time of year? I mean, when is everything perfect?
Wow.
Well, if it's
all
hunting,
year round.
All year round, really?
All year round's great. But I mean, hunting is that. I mean, if you want to, hunt it's basically March through to June. Then skiing's after that, and then fishing in summertime is kind of October through to back to February sort of thing. So depends what you're into.
Yeah. We're in summer right now, so we've left our summer to come here, and we got a few days skiing.
Wow,
so that was pretty good.
Wow, I don't know if I would have left that. All right, so this is what New Zealand is really like, and this is the chance that you get if you want to talk to them. You also want to talk to Tony Treebeard Abbott,
going to New Zealand,
and all the contact information is on getpartdaily.com or on our Facebook page. You guys are so cool.
Yeah, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you for having us.
You were amazing, and you're also very good sports, because Scales and Tails was just here, and we were draping poor Kate with snakes, and she was like, okay, because in Australia these would kill me.
I need them. You are the best.
They are the best. And so are
you're
you.
the best.
All right, we'll be
Say
right
goodbye,
back.
everybody.
Bye. Thanks for having us.
Hollywood. It's time for Hollywood, brought to you by.
It's Connect Heating and Air. That's why it's Hollywood Connection.
I know that.
Get it? It's cute. Connect Heating and Air. You just go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com. They can set up some amazing maintenance schedules for you if you have commercial properties. You don't have to worry about anything.
Sweet.
All right, I've been dying to talk about this. Number one, Justin Timberlake.
I love him.
I'm really surprised. He got huge criticism. I mean, major shade for the halftime at the Super Bowl, and I thought it was great.
Are you kidding me?
It was a low-key start, but I thought he did really well.
Well, that's how you run a show.
Well, one of the things, though, that was interesting is that he had to do some huge last-minute changes.
Why?
He was originally intending to sing with a hologram of Prince, because it's in Minneapolis.
Oh, right.
It's the home sun.
Instead, they used that big curtain.
And you remember they had a sheet, and he did a short duet with him. Well, here's what happened. Sheila E., who has been very close with Prince for years,
right.
He's very religious. He was a Jehovah's Witness. And
Who was?
Prince.
Okay.
And he thought that holograms were a thing of the devil.
Oh.
And she called him and called JT and said, dude, you cannot do this.
Right.
And so something they've had planned for months,
he
goes, okay, now what do we do? And so they had to
This is an odd thing, though.
I know, right?
Technology would be something, and he's the tech guy as
I
far
know,
as music
and it's
goes.
Prince, right?
That's funny.
But so they had to re-choreograph the entire thing. But I thought he did a great
So
job.
they projected it on that big silk.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
they had up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was still cool.
But it was very respectful.
I can't believe that anybody dissing him. I mean, the fact that
I thought he was great.
we watched the whole show, and the hard thing is that it's live. Number two, he starts like here, and he sings his way over to another part of the stadium, and then sings his way over to the field, and then he sings his back way, and the whole time he is on camera singing. I thought it was unbelievable.
I thought he did great.
And especially, it's so funny though, the last song, what is it, Dance, Dance, Dance?
Yes.
Yeah, and my kid was just like, but it was fun. I thought it was really fun. We were all dancing. You were dancing?
Of course I was
We were
dancing.
all
You have to
dancing.
dance to that.
I know.
You would be a communist if you didn't dance to that.
This is true.
Right?
Maybe that's why the Patriots lost.
Well, that's true. It is funny, though,
We shouldn't
because
have danced.
Levi's just came out with this huge commercial afterwards, and they're like, we're introducing the JT trucker jacket.
Oh,
And
look
you
at
can
he's
see him
wearing a
right there.
trucker jacket. That's cool.
He's wearing a trucker jacket. It's a limited release trucker jacket that was designed by JT, they say. Well, here's the only funny thing about the JT trucker jacket. Number one, the one he's wearing, the limited edition, is $1,200.
What?
And then the ones that you can buy afterwards as just the little people are $675.
Wow.
I don't know a lot of truckers who can afford a trucker jacket for $600. As a matter of fact, I don't know attorneys who can afford a trucker jacket. It's $675 for a denim jacket.
Since when have we started using truckers as fashion models?
You know, they've always been sort of cool, though. The Knights of the Road. No, think about
Where
it.
you been hanging out?
No. Remember when CBs were big and there was all the...
Okay, Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Guy's got a big sloppy dog
Smokey
next to
and
him.
the Bandit.
Smokey and the good 10-4 good buddy. Jackie Gleason driving around without a roof on his car. There's no option for fashion there. That's not a fashion.
Well, apparently JT thinks that he can make it cool.
And like when we go drive like out west and stuff, we stop at all the truck stops.
I've never
Anybody catch your eye?
I've never seen one go, oh my God, the skinny jeans are so cute on you.
That
No,
doesn't
that's
happen.
true. No. But anyway,
Led Zeppelin T-shirt. I'm not trying to shame you guys, but
if
you're
I'd be in a
wearing
truck all day, you're dressing for comfort,
you
brother.
are wearing comfort. I saw a guy in slippers once, and it's fine.
And you should.
You're driving 2,000 miles in one shot. You should be as comfortable
You wear a
as possible.
onesie if you want to, but
This
yeah.
is true.
But traditionally, yeah.
Don't really look at them for fashion.
I know. I'm not sure how that would happen, but it will be interesting to see what happens with the infamous JT-inspired trucker jacket.
Question about Kate Beckinsale.
Beckinsale. I absolutely
Spelled
love this. Sarah Silverman was on, put up a picture on Instagram, and it actually got some harassment, so she had to explain. It's a picture of a bowl, and it's the personalized M&Ms, and it's a picture, if you look, it's a picture of her old boyfriend, Michael Sheen, and her, and she's kissing him on the cheek.
She is.
Except for there's one mistake. It's not actually her, it's Kate Beckinsale kissing Michael Sheen on the cheek, and it was her personalized M&Ms. Kate Beckinsale, when they did Underworld together,
What?
she was dating him, and then they broke up, but she'd gotten all these personalized M&Ms, I guess, as some kind of gift. So when Sarah Silverman broke up with him, she goes, I would like to give you my old personalized M&Ms.
That's hilarious.
And she says that, this cruel gift to remind me that I'm alone in this world. But she was joking. She goes, yeah, I like them best when they're microwaved and its head cracks open on the
Oh my
edge."
gosh. That's kind of funny.
That's hysterical.
I didn't know you could do that.
I actually think that's real. So, Kate, funny. Sarah, even funnier.
Katie.
Michael, you
he's just
score
left.
gorgeous women, and you're alone now.
He's alone.
So. Isn't that wrong? I just love that. Here's my personalized M&Ms for your ex-boyfriend.
Leftovers. Oh, and here's his towel. It says his. All right,
love
let's
them
get some
both.
information.
I think that's a good idea. We've got Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. Listen, with all the craziness with the stock market and interest rates, why not go to fink-mcgregor.com and get some actual information from someone who will call you back within the next business day. Also, by the Vein Clinic. Go to theveinclinic.com and make sure you set up an appointment for the Riverton location especially. Go in and find out what they can do for your legs. The legs can actually look the same age as the rest of you now, instead of varicose veins that kind of make you look like your mom's. And, of course, by Brio Technologies. They're your experts in lighting, sound, and video. Bring your company into this actual century now. They can help you. BrioAudiovisual.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making national and world news headlines for Friday, February 9th on Gephardt Daily. Despite a Supreme Court ruling last year authorizing same-sex marriages, Bermuda's governor approved a bill reversing the right of gay couples to marry. Governor John Rankin has announced that he signed into assent the Domestic Partnership Act, which was passed in December in the British Territories House of Assembly and Senate. The new act defines domestic partnerships instead of marriages for same-sex couples, though Rankin said the rights of couples in domestic partnerships won't differ from those who are married. Holocaust survivors in Israel stormed the Polish embassy in Tel Aviv Thursday to protest a new law that makes it illegal to blame the Warsaw government for the mass extermination of Jews during World War II. The survivors, accompanied by younger Israelis, stormed the Polish compound and rallied outside the building. They also surrounded one diplomat's car. And authorities in Mexico said they rescued a sedated tiger cub that had been placed in a plastic container and sent via express mail. The federal attorney for environmental protection said police using a sniffer dog rooted out contraband from a load of mail discovered a plastic box containing a Bengal tiger cub. The tiger cub was found to be dehydrated and underweight, but in otherwise good health. Investigators said the tiger's ownership papers were in order, but the method of mailing it was considered to be a form of animal mistreatment. And now time for another look at your Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's top audiovisual specialists. Temperatures in most of Utah will vary little over the next week, and no storms are forecast for the next week at least. Skies will remain mostly sunny with a few broken clouds. For more news across the nation and around the world, check out GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you very much. There's a couple things that we should talk about, and one is how much are hamburgers?
What do you mean, how much are hamburgers?
$6 hamburgers. No, $6.
$6?
No, it's not. It's just a different price than that, Carl's Jr. I'm craving one right now
Why?
because I'm trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
I could eat 3 of them.
I know. That's when all the good stuff comes out.
So there is a burger restaurant in Boston, and the burger is $3,000.
You know, that seems like a lot. I've heard about the Kobe beef burgers, which still seems like a waste
And
of
they put
beef.
glitter gold, actual gold on other burgers and pizzas and stuff.
Yeah, but so why is
Yeah.
this one $3,000?
Well, they've decided for Valentine's Day. This is in the North End, and it's not a fancy area. It's just not. It's a very cool, real Boston kind of
So
cool
why
thing.
why are they springing $3,000 for a
It's
burger?
It's the big boy burger there. So it's not even an individual restaurant. It's part of a chain, and they have decided they take the hamburger there,
Yeah.
and they shove an engagement ring in the bun.
Oh.
So first of all, you're proposing to someone at a big boy, but I can still stay with it. I can still think it's fun, but you are at a hamburger joint. I mean, I think
Maybe
lot
that
of
means
people.
that she won't be sususpecting it because of that.
Yeah, right. Hey, we're
Like, he
going
would
to
never
the,
be so as unromantic as to propose in a big boy restaurant.
You know, Erin, here at the landfill, I have something to tell you.
Oh, no, honey, but you proposed at the poop dock at Lake Powell.
No, I didn't. That's your dream, though. So instead of showing up on a horse and in silver armor, you're sitting down in a place having a hamburger, and it's a 7th 8 carat rock. It's 14 karat gold.
Oh, wow.
With some diamonds on the side as well, and some fry sauce.
You know, I've heard these stories before, and they're so essentially problematic to me because I've heard about them hidden in pudding. I've heard them hidden in fudge cakes. I've
The
heard
choking.
Yeah,
The choking.
number one, the biting. I heard one where it cracked her tooth,
Oh,
and she
man.
was in excruciating pain while they tried to find an emergency dentist. There was another one where they actually swallowed it and started choking it. I just
No one has taken them up on the offer so
hiding
far.
expensive jewelry and food just does not seem wise, I guess.
And there is that moment. There is that moment where you bite into something and something clicks or something grinds or something whatever, and you're eating
and you're
some-
frozen,
and
right?
you know it's wrong. But there's that moment of just like, I don't want to see what it is. I really don't want to see it.
It's going to be something horrible.
Sometimes it's like a little piece of glass that came out of the sink. or
Todd bit into a
something.
rusty nail once in some Chinese food. That was awesome.
And I was so mad.
Oh, gosh, yeah, because you were starving.
I was starving to death. Not mad about a rusty nail. Oh, yeah, go down here. The rusty nail was about that big. And it must have come off one of the wok, the ones that they have strainers on the end, and it must have come off something because it was not in there. Like, that'd be really hard to not notice.
You would think.
But it's, again, you got it in there and you're like, oh, I gotta take it out. It's gonna be gross.
And then, of course, after that, he was too grossed out to eat anything. and so he was
mad.
both
Well, we'll
angry
give you
and
some-
hungry.
We'll give you some more food. Oh, no. Just give me a nail gun to go with the nail.
Yeah.
People...
I don't know. I guess, but
We gotta stop being so judgmental.
why?
We just really have to stop doing this because first thing you notice when a person walks in a room is...
Usually their smile, like their expression. Are they friendly? Are they interesting? They look like they might
physically.
be fun.
Physically, what you look at. Or what you notice.
I'm a girl. I usually look at the clothes.
And then...
Hair. Yeah.
Shape.
Back to the expression.
Shape.
I don't check out girls' bodies like that. I know that's
I look at the...
that's traditionally how what men look at
the
first.
package. And when I say package, I don't mean like sexy package. I mean like how the hair and their height and stuff like that,
What's the first thing you noticed about me?
Your hair, because it was this big. You were like the Zeppelin coming into land at the airport.
90s.
It was huge hair.
It was
and
the-
then your
the late
eyes.
90s
And your green eyes.
Thank you. Good
And
one.
then my eyes did trail down slightly. So this is what we're talking about. There are tons of things. Tell me what on your body that you, not you personally, that you could not alter with surgery. Okay, let's start up here. Okay, facelift. Okay, nose,
No head?
mouth, ears,
No.
even earlobes. They can even pin your ears back.
Oh, totally.
Right?
Your arms, you can do like a back thing,
Underneath.
so it tightens them up.
Chest.
That's a given. We
Yeah.
all know that.
Tummy tuck.
Sure. Thigh lift, butt lift, all those things.
See?
Sure.
All the
There's
way
really,
down?
You can, you
Really?
can nip, suck, and tuck pretty much
All
any
right,
part of
let's
your body.
stop. Let's go halfway up the body, right to the belly button.
Oh, you can do that too.
This is the new news I'm telling you about. This is the biggie. This
Wait,
is the big thing.
people are intentionally going in just for the belly button?
They're.
I could see it as part of a tummy tuck or something.
No. What do you mean? They relocate it, don't they?
Yeah, we know a tummy tuck.
Because
You
otherwise
have
you'd
to
have
cut it out.
you'd
and
have a
then-
navel up here.
Yeah. So they have to little hole and they kind of hold it there and then they go put and then pop it back in.
I'd have mine put on the side. Or make it go away totally, and that way you can see you're an alien and you're cloned and you were in a dish as opposed to a mom. Anyway, the point being is that
Where did we get off on this?
Kardashians are part of this movement. All the others, these people are just freaking out. One woman became pregnant, and she was so insulted by the fact that her innie belly button became an outie belly button, which happens. It's like the turkey timer.
The betrayal.
You're supposed to.
Pops out. Yeah.
And
it just never popped back in again, huh?
I always think it's really no. It's just for the months that it's sticking out that they get so they go in and they tighten your
While you're pregnant?
No,
Afterwards.
They tighten your belly button.
Yeah. Oh no! You thread a thing and it's like
I don't want to know
it's
the
like
details.
a drawstring on a sack. It's just
Why would you?
and you're all,
why
yeah.
would you say that?
I guess people who have an amazing tummy. I mean, if you show off your tummy a lot and it's really toned and cute, and you don't want this weird misshapen belly button. But I never thought that
It's like a fingerprint. No two are the same.
I guess I just never thought that was enough of a thing to become a thing.
You'd run out of time. You'd run out of things to worry about.
Really, right? Because
Right.
it's like I see how some things become a thing because enough
I
of us
hate
have those things. So you go, hey, it's a thing now that we all do this thing. But a belly button is like a
If you can stand in
like a
front of
lower maintenance issue, I guess.
If you can stand in front of a full-length mirror, totally naked, with your hands even above your head, and turn around slowly. So you have many mirrors, right? And you turn around slowly, and you come around, and you say, voila. You don't need to fix your belly button.
But perhaps all of you is beautiful except for your naturally misshapen belly button.
In your eyes only.
And you think this has got to be fixed.
It's so weird.
There's enough of people doing this to make it a thing.
Did you know, since speaking of weird, did you know that there is a website for things called beardies? And this is Pampered Beardies.
Pampered Beardies.
On .com. And we're going to talk to the lady who does this, the lady who makes costumes for lizards.
I am so intrigued.
Because there's been so much critter talk this week here in Salt Lake City. We're going to talk to Sarah coming up next.
That's so cool.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink & McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's a short 4-minute quiz, and at the end of it, you can find a whole array of mortgage options, and someone will call you back from Fink & McGregor within the next business day. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Go to utahcreditapproval.com because they know that bad things happen to good people, but that shouldn't stop you from repairing your credit and getting a reliable automobile at utahcreditapproval.com. And also all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. John has 24/7 service because he knows that emergencies can happen any time of the day or night. And right now they have a $69 special to check out all your heating systems to make sure they're working well. Just go to allutahplumbing.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Todd and Erin Morning Stream. GetPartDaily.com. We should go to the turtle cam, don't you think? Let's go right this. This is, there he is, on the move. Sarah Sutherland is with us today. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Good to see you. I'm going to have to hang on to
she
you.
says she's gone.
Okay, I'm going to give her to you. First of all, you're here, Pampered Beardies.
Yes.
Pamperedbeardies.com. I'm going to give you a second to think about what that's for. They don't have a clue, do they?
Probably not.
It would take me a long time to have any background. We've been talking about critters around Salt Lake City and some of the good and bad things that have been happening. And Sarah's one of the good people. Pampered Beardies. Explain.
Pampered Beardies is for the well cared for lizards in your life.
Lizards. And called
Lizards.
Beardies because...
Beardies is short for bearded dragon.
Do you have one?
I actually do.
I take the tortoise.
You take the tortoise.
Now, how long have you been involved with lizards? Oh my gosh.
This is Milo. He says, hey.
Oh my gosh.
We had a lizard for... I can't math on camera, sorry. We had a lizard for at least 6 years. And then I've been doing rescue for about 5.5.
Right.
Milo was one of my rescues. It took me a long time to get him to not die on me.
So when you talk rescues, I mean, this is a full-time thing. How many animals are you been dealing with?
I actually stopped counting after 250.
Okay, that's a lot.
That's a lot in 5 years. I figured 250 was a good benchmark, and then I quit. Kind of like I quit counting the vet bills after about 20,000.
Well, this is where do the animals come from?
They come from all over. Online classifieds are my biggest source of half-dead animals.
So, Tim, how does it work? I call you and I say, hey, I made a mistake and I got a dragon lizard and he's not doing well.
Exactly.
And then they say, what can you do about it, or will you take him?
Right. The most recent one was I was out of town and someone bought my son a bearded dragon. Can you take him? We don't want him.
Will he sit right here?
He will.
Let's put him right there. There we go. There we go. It's just so fun to have. So okay, so you get an animal, and then what happens next? I mean, here it is. It's in your house.
Yes.
Right. And what's the next process? What's the next step?
So I do a well check on it. I want to see, is it moving? Is it eating? Is it pooping? Is it dehydrating?
Mm-hmm.
What's its story? And then I go from there. I have a really good vet who has taught me how to do a lot of that check myself.
What kind of stuff?
So I can do saline injections. I can do antibiotic injections, tube feedings. I can even give an enema to a lizard.
Oh.
I know.
That's what the .com's all about.
I don't put that one on my resume.
You said over 200, right?
Over 200.
Okay, and I'm thinking about your house right now.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, and then I heard, no, you do fostering.
I do fostering. I do not have 250 animals at my house.
Because then we'd have to call people.
You would have to call people, and I would not have a family.
All right, so you call a family, and you say, I have a lizard. It's your turn. You're on my list. Right?
Not quite.
No?
Right now, I actually get so many requests through Instagram and my website of people saying, please just let me have one of your lizards. And so I've been shipping from Maine to Oregon to California, Florida. People beg me to have my lizards, which is kind of funny to me because I'll tell them, Craigslist, kind of easier, cheaper. Oh no, we have to have one of yours.
Because you take care of them.
Yes.
Which means you'd be a target for people wanting to know more tips about them. What kind of information correspondence do you get?
I get so many emails. Lately, the emails have been, I saw this ad on Craigslist in Tallahassee. Can you put it on your Instagram page so we can rescue it? Sometimes they look fine, and sometimes they really are half dead, and I share them.
Right.
So then I also get, I have this bearded dragon, and he pooped. Look at this poop. Is this normal poop? That looks pretty okay. Just watch it, see how it is. So I get a lot of random questions that people, is this normal? Is this normal?
Right.
Look at his eyes. Does he look normal? Is he happy?
It's a full-time gig.
I try not to let it take over my life, but sometimes it does.
All right, so the process is, help, I have a dragon and he's not well and I want someone else to take care of him. And you say, okay, at least the person makes that step, right?
And sometimes that happens. A lot of times it's someone will say, I was at my friend's house and I was helping them move. This is actually one of my worst stories. One of my friends was helping their mutual friend move, and they said, what about the tank on the dryer? And the person said, don't worry about that thing. It's almost dead. We're just going to leave it when we move tomorrow.
Oh.
And they said, excuse me? Oh, yeah, it's just a lizard. He bit me. We're not feeding him. He just needs to die
because we didn't
so
do our
mean.
jobs.
So Rico came to me. I kept him alive through saline injections for 4 days, and then I held him and cried on his head as he died. There was no way to save him at that point. It had been 2 months since they had fed him or watered him. So I have stories that make you think that
broke
all...
my heart.
Yeah. There's stories that are really happy and positive, and there's stories that just make you feel like all humanity should be burned.
And the other ones get healthy and are living on the coast of Maine thanks to you.
Yes.
And enjoying looking at lobsters. So the deal is you get the animals, you take care of them. We have people on a list that's saying, hey, we have them, which is really evil because you're tricking them, and suddenly they go, we can't give George back.
You can't put my secrets on the
I'm
internet.
Sorry, but that's the way it works. So and then you just keep this going. And you said vet bills. Right? You said vets. I thought bills because I know
it's the same thing.
If anyone takes an animal to a vet, it hurts. It's a lot. But now over 200 animals. How do you fund this?
So originally it was just my credit card, which I have a really patient husband, and he would
Right.
say, $3,000 for a surgery, and I would say,
right.
$12,000 for a doctorate degree. It's our little back and forth.
Right.
I realized I needed a better source besides just begging for money all the time. So
Right.
I actually started creating costumes for lizards, which is fabulous until I would go into the fabric store and buy 300 yards of felt. And they would say, oh, this is great. What are you making? I'm making lizard costumes. And there's always just this silence of,
Oh.
well, isn't that
Is
nice?
this one of them right here?
Yes.
Let me see.
So this is actually my identifying costume.
The shark.
This is my biggest feature, my biggest seller. I actually have knockoffs online of this, which I think is hilarious.
In China, there's a bunch of people in a factory wondering what they're making.
Shark costume.
It's shark costume. So, okay, how do you, do you sell enough of these to make the medical bills okay?
I do. Yes. I haven't had to sell my kidney, which is actually my backup plan for rescue.
Right.
I know a guy in Tijuana. $20,000.
You wake up in a tub with ice.
Well,
Yeah,
but it pays off the credit card.
Right.
So, yeah, actually, I do get random donations. I'm very lucky because I don't have to beg for donations all the time
Right.
because my Etsy shop, I tell people, if you want to help me, go and buy your lizard a sombrero.
See?
And it helps pay for my vet bills, which are, I actually stopped counting after 20,000 last year.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I could have paid off my car. I could have bought a brand new car and paid
true.
it off.
And eaten?
Well,
Which
we
is
do
good.
eat.
We do? Okay.
Yeah, we do eat. We're good with that.
Sarah Sutherland. This is a Pampered Beardies. Go to pamperedbeardies.com if you don't believe it. And you know what? If you have a friend who has a dragon, a bearded dragon, or iguana for that matter, and you give them a gift that is a costume for their lizard, you will be in their will. Trust me, because they go, no one understands me and my lizard. And then you go, yes, I do. And then boom, you're in the will forever.
Yeah. A leopard gecko with a sombrero. People send me pictures and say, look at my beardy, he's so happy in his sombrero. And I think there is another lizard in this world who wants to kill me.
You have a very tight niche audience.
We do. And who knew? Who knew that people would want sombreros and cowboy hats for their lizards?
Thanks for being here today.
You're very welcome.
Just go to the website if you need more help, need more information, and don't ask her stupid questions. Don't ask her to look at their poop, okay? That's
it happens anyway. I'm good with
probably
it.
will. All right. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Todd.
Ah, the beauty of the broken down Blazer cam.
Wow.
Oh, it's so nice. That's the good side, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. It really, there's no tires on the other side. It's been blocked up. So anyway, I wanted to...
I'm still mesmerized by the concept of a little bearded lizard wearing a sombrero.
Oh, isn't it funny? I didn't know they were so...
I want to get one. I want to get a beardy so I can buy a little sombrero.
They were so cute. I remember when I was growing up and I was like 6 or 7. Family friends of ours had 2 iguanas, and they seemed like they were 6 feet long, but they ran through the house. They had the run of the house.
Wow.
And I remember coming in the back door, and I remember she didn't say anything.
I would jump 6 feet in the air.
All you heard were their nails on the hardwood floors, sliding around corners and running into the room and just going, ah! It was like frightening. Anyway, but those were really cool.
All right, coming up Monday, we're going to start the Todd and Erin cavalcade of Valentine's Day gifts, the his and her gifts that perhaps you've never thought of before, and it's your chance to win them as well.
What's that? Oh, okay. No, to end the show, we have something special.
Honey?
What?
We don't use earpieces.
Oh, okay. Evidently, I'm going to go back to it. We're being told that we have a special musical guest. And because of, there's something on the show we have a tradition of, is not playing copywritten music, because we can't. So we know, number one, that it's traditional, it's an original
Beautiful
creation
original piece.
By we're not
Very
sure
exciting.
actually who it is yet, but we're going to say goodbye now. Please introduce and love this musical interlude, and we will see you Monday morning right here on the Todd and Erin morning stream at GetPartDaily.com. Right.